Yo everybody, me and Buster Green here. I still haven't reviewed Sonic 3 because I have a lot of emotions around that movie and I'm trying to convey them in the most eloquently way as possible. So in a majorly short video, in another Christmas miracle, for Christmas my roommate got Sonic X Generations, X Shadow Generations, and then when my roommate was asleep, I beat the entirety of the game in under 4 hours because the game is just that short. Can I recommend this game? Not really. I mean, like, if you never played Sonic Generations, oh, then yeah, you should definitely get this, especially if you never played the original game. This is the original game, but better. So because Sonic 3, the movie, is pushing Shadow the Hedgehog so goddamn hard, Sega, in their infinite wisdom, decided to re-release Sonic Generations with a brand new Shadow Generation campaign, all about what Shadow was doing at the same time as this game, where I think they had referenced him before, but otherwise, like, there was enough mystery there to actually make a full game out of Shadow's story. Now, does the new Shadow campaign justify the re-release? Not really. Like, if you're already a Sonic Generations master and you want to experience this new Shadow campaign, it's much harder to justify because, to be real, the Shadow campaign is just kind of weird. Like, it's a half-hearted sequel to the 2005 Shadow the Hedgehog standalone game, but with the return of its villain Black Doom and none of its attitude. You don't really have a motorcycle. You don't really have a gun. Shadow pushes himself farther and farther to become a full alien abomination in this game in a way that I'm not super comfortable with. It reminds me of that unexplored subplot in Adventure Time when Jake the dog revealed he was like a blue half-alien abomination. And if Shadow continues to become this hideous abomination, then who's to say he won't just eventually turn into Mephiles, which is like a whole other thing with the deep lore. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I don't fully understand what Mephiles was, but anyway, he's in this game too, and you beat him up, and it's kind of sad. Anyway, along the way, he runs into Maria and good old Gerald Robotnik, who show up and try to keep Shadow emotionally grounded, as well as Big the Cat and Omega, who Shadow doesn't really say anything to, and Rouge is there doing her typical jewel thief role. The gameplay, though, is not super fun. Well, it starts off really good. It starts off exactly like Sonic Generations, except you can use Chaos Control. But then throughout the game, Shadow gets more and more of these unholy alien powers, and the more powers he gets, the more the game breaks. By the time you get to the final stage, Radical Highway, the game is like completely broken because he has these like dumb, stupid angel wings that don't really work. Otherwise, it's just Sonic Generations all over, but with like different stages. The main cool thing that I will praise is that the game really well integrates Shadow's Chaos Control ability. So the way they did it is Chaos Control allows Shadow to freeze time for 5 seconds, but then they work that into the game that you have to kind of use that to shave off seconds and like time trial speeds, and that is really cool actually. But on the flip side, it also means if there's like a game mechanism that like needs to work in the flow of time, it won't work. So if there's like a door that has to open, you can't open it because time's frozen. Or if there's like a switch that only appears when the enemies are killed, too bad, time is frozen. You gotta wait for time to unfreeze. So yeah, Shadow's kind of effed by the way Chaos Control works, but there are places where you use it and it's really super cool. Now, I will say that as you go through Shadow Generations, the other thing that kind of like makes this game suck is that none of Shadow's games have really been particularly good. So when you're doing like the best of Shadow, like the games referenced in his run are like definitely not any of the crowd favorites. Like Shadow ends up back in Sonic 06, his own controversial game, and like a DLC stage from Sonic Heroes that I never knew about before because I didn't pay money for Sonic Heroes. I also didn't love that it kind of references Sonic Frontiers in some places. And yeah, there's some parts of Shadow Generations that feel like they literally one-to-one copied like sections out of Sonic Frontiers. So I gotta like conclude that this game is just a bad cash grab. Sega rushed this game out to definitely pull something out of their egg sack just in time to have a fresh Sonic game for the holidays, just to coincide with the release of the Sonic 3 movies. Here's what I think they should have done instead. Considering how reverential and loving Sonic 3 is to Sonic Adventure 2, I think Sega should have done the work and they should have just released an HD remake of Sonic Adventure 2 for modern consoles. Like if they had remastered Sonic Adventure 2, that would have made like $1 million. I would have played Sonic Adventure 2 just to play it again with updated graphics, and I feel like everyone would have like been happy if they had done that. I've seen some fans make some really badass recreations of Sonic Adventure in Unreal Engine lately that have honestly blown me out of my seat. And if they like made a full game of that, that would have like been everything. I don't know. I'm getting concerned at this point that over the years, Sonic Team has really like lost their mojo and they just can't get it right anymore. They've really been floundering, which is weirdly juxtaposed against the Sonic movies getting better and better. And then Yuji Naka, the creator of Sonic, he's in jail right now for insider trading against Square Enix out of revenge for like the way they treat him over Balan Wonderland. So like, yeah, there's like no one like steering the ship right now. Otherwise, there is one thing that gives me a sliver of hope in this game, but it's really, really hard to access. The best thing about Shadow Generations is a singular DLC level based on Sonic the Movie 3. Now, I'm going to recommend you buy this DLC level using the game's Season Pass, because right now the Season Pass is $12, and otherwise if you just buy the stage itself is $6. So I would buy the Season Pass just in case Sega is holding on to another morsel of goodness that might come out later. So yeah, I paid $12 for it on my friend's borrowed game, and that's the only money I spent on this. Plus, buying the Season Pass gets you the skin for Terry the Hedgehog. Remember Terry the Hedgehog, everyone? He's blind in one eye. He's so dark and twisted. He is truly a twisted reflection of both Sonic and Shadow. Anyway, yeah, the movie DLC stage is really good. Shadow gets a movie-accurate skin completely with this brand new, well-acted Keanu Reeves voiceover. You get a pretty awesome stage recapping the chaos that Shadow unleashed in between his trip from Prison Island to Shinjuku, where he runs into Sonic. Yeah, the stage is completely awesome. It basically recaps what happened to Shadow in the 6 minutes or so before Sonic jumped out of the helicopter to fight him. So yeah, I'm wondering what the deal is with the stage, because obviously this stage is a promotion for the movie, but the weird thing is this stage is more polished and more thoughtfully created than literally the entire Shadow X Generation game, or literally like the game before this, Sonic Frontiers and Sonic Heroes. So I'm just like wondering, what the hey is this? Like, Sega obviously has kind of like forgotten what to do with Sonic, which is weird because I guess now they're stewing the pot and seeing if maybe people want a game based on the 3 Sonic movies. And if that's what they're doing, hell yeah, I'm down for that. Like, I don't feel like there's been an amazing, awesome meta game based on a movie based on a game since like Street Fighter, the movie on PS1. And that game kind of sucked, but it was still kind of funny for the quirkiness of being an adaptation of an adaptation of an adaptation. So yeah, if this stage is setting the groundwork for Sonic movie the game, I'm all in on that. I want to fight me some Jim Carrey Robotnik. That being said, I'm super annoyed that the Shadow movie stage has the Keanu Reeves skin and voice, but then you can't use the Keanu Reeves skin and voice in any other stage except this one, so that's dumb. Another dumb thing is the stage has a super dumb poster collectathon where you collect every single poster for the movie. I haven't done this because it's too challenging, but yeah. Then it's also got 2 challenge missions to pad out your content. And yeah, otherwise this is a $6 stage that you can beat in 6 minutes with a teensy little bit of extras. But yeah, overall Shadow Generations is a weird game because it's like, you got the main game, which is 10-year-old and boring. Then you've got the new Shadow campaign, which is cool. But then when you actually play it, it's not really worth paying full price for because the story is kind of cringe and the last levels are really buggy. But then you have this perfect Keanu Reeves DLC, the real cherry on top of this mountain of crap they made here. So like, I don't think I can recommend Sonic Generations like Shadow Generations unless you're one of those people who were too young to have played the original Sonic Generations. But if you really love Sonic that much, you have got to play this Keanu Reeves DLC, because this Keanu Reeves DLC is maybe the future of the Sonic franchise, and I'm kind of here for it. Like, it's realistic, it's gritty, it looks like the real Japan, and it's kind of everything I would have wanted in a Sonic the Hedgehog movie video game, except it's only one level and it's just like a sample of what could be a really cool new Sonic game. All right, so that's what I gotta say. Hopefully after this, I can finish my review of Sonic 3 the movie, hopefully before the hype wears down. It seems like the hype's gonna keep up because everyone's watching Sonic and not Simba. So yeah, I'm gonna hang in there and hopefully try to get that review done sooner or later. All right, I'm done. Later, guys. Good night.